Hey, this is Old Gaming Guru. I'm back with Last Epoch. Yeah, I still have not gotten the PoE2 bug back again. I'm not really quite sure why. I think it's just because they made the campaign so grindy, and Last Epoch has got a really quick way to get your character leveled up. I've gone from 1 to 57 in less than 2 days, playing an hour a day. So, this game just respects your time a lot, and you can see it. The developers actually care about the amount of time that you spend. They're not trying to just suck you in. They want you to play, but they also too want you to play the way you want to and enjoy the game the way you want to. And that's awesome. The end game versus PoE on this guy, he's level 99. We're pushing for 100 right now. He's a VK Autobomber with inspiration from Ali's great website discussion. But I built out differently than she did. I went smite instead of hammer throw. Anyways, this build makes playing this game really easy, especially if you want to fight gear to twink up some alts. And running alts in this game is super easy compared to PoE2. It's not like starting completely over. You can outfit your alts pretty well if you've got a level 90 character and have gear for them for all of their leveling up. And anyways, that being said, is let's not yak. Let's jump in and look and see. We're at corruption level 314. I'm going to actually push this to 500 and see how I do. I'm holding my own pretty well here at 314. But let's just jump in and show you gameplay here really quick. Okay, so I'm hunting books because level 99 is and 98 are really slow in this game. You don't have a death penalty, which is freaking awesome. But yeah, it takes a while. So I think this is a much better way to go. Once again, as I said, this game respects your time so much more than PoE does. So it's part of the reason why I have been glued to it with my hours worth of time each day. This is why I keep coming back to this game, because there's so many things from the interface to the quick leveling of alts this game has that I wish PoE would learn from. I love PoE. I've been playing it since nearly its inception. I've been playing this since its inception. But I have to say right now, the current state of PoE2 has kind of left me a little bit dull. I think I may go back and play around with it tomorrow, but you know what? There's just so much fun about this game. I have a feeling too that I may actually break my good intentions, but look at that. These are some notoriously hard mobs to kill. I'm using smite as my main damage. It then creates fissures, which kills things. It creates these fissures underneath them. It kills everything around them that gets close to them. It's just a really quick build. And I'm not even zooming right now. I'm just enjoying myself. Okay, we use volatile reversal basically to jump around, but you kind of just go up, start smiting on your way in, then you let devouring orb basically kill anything that's close to you. At lower levels of corruption, you can basically breeze through everything using devouring orb. Alright. And the thing that makes this build really possible and is generating work for me out in combat is a shield that I have to find early on to keep it easy to play this build. Because that shield right here, Grim Constitution, which you can see I've got a 2 LP version of it, allows you to gain a huge amount of ward. Look at that, 10,000 ward by staying out of combat. Now the downside to it is you cannot gain ward in combat. Which means when you lose it for good. You see, I'm not gaining ward. This becomes a bit of a problem, but once my ward is gone in combat, what I do then is I use my leech to regen my health, because VK obviously has a ton of leech. As you can see here, those big bad boys go down nice and good. Anything that gets close to me is pretty much dead. Devouring Orb kills him. So I'm very tanky. I have not gotten lucky with armor rolls, believe it or not, again. That seems to happen to me every single time. Alright, but let's go run this Nemesis here so you can see how we do versus a little mini boss. Do I want this? Any of this? Okay, I've got Urzel's Pride in there, I think, trying to level that up for an alt. Alright, so let's go ahead and power this. Start off by just doing a ball of reversal. He's going to debuff him, and boom. Just stand right next to him and just keep blasting him with smite, staying out of the way of his attacks. Super, super simple. And if you also, I've got a video on a melee version of this, which is a blast to play. That's now hit 87. So watch some of my earlier videos if you want to play this, but you don't want to play smite. Play melee, warpath, and a racing strike. You just like to whack stuff with a big stick. It's a lot of fun. See this guy? Even though he's losing armor. Alright, there's the boss. Fix the one. Makes it look pretty darn easy. If I want to get my ward back, I just stay out of combat. And due to these two numbnuts, I'm not going to. Zoom, zoom, if you want to zoom, zoom. Use your volatile reversal. Devouring Orb, huge change in this latest league. It's made it so much more fun because this is a kind of character I use a lot to basically farm stuff for alts. Is that when you move now, your sigils of hope and also to your devouring orb generate as you move. A huge quality of life. Once again, respecting your time as a player. Absolutely love it. I see a couple things here I want to grab, one I want to go ahead and get rid of. Let's get that healing hands, affix, just in case I decide to throw that one wrong. But I think you guys got the gist of this. So let's go ahead and I've completed this enough to get maximum amount of stability. I'm going to grab my tones. And that's a piece of crap still selling.
Yes.
Hey, by the way, if you're not selling... Oh, no, that's awesome. I thought it was only 10. Oh, I got to try that one out because my current code is pretty... It's okay. It's decent for this guy. I mean, all four of these I use, but if I could get one with more to smite, that would be awesome. Alright, so anyways, let's explain how this character works really quick. We're going to start off, we're going to look at basically, not that, his stats. Okay, so 3,500 health. That then generates a huge amount of ward because according to my shield, 54% of my max health is gained as ward per second. I get max decay threshold of 131. Alright, so remember, Grim Constitution is the only thing you need to have in this. If you're having a hard time getting Grim Constitution, I recommend you do the following. In your Weaver tree, put Grim Constitution in as many of these as you possibly can, and also relics, because those are, I mean, Grim Constitution is the only one you need, but Code of an Erased Sentinel, if you can get lucky and get plus to smite, plus your +1 to Sentinel skills, which is inherent on this particular relic, that would be awesome. Okay? So right now, as you can see, Code of the Erased Sentinel here is bringing smite up by 2. I would love it if it actually got to +5. This character would be just amazing. Alright? Okay, so let's go back to stats again. Mana's 282. You don't need a ton of mana because your primary attack is smite. What you need mana for is to cast all those stupid orbs, and your shield, which is Anomaly. Anomaly is your buff shield, and it should be on auto. Turn on your Numlock key, press the corresponding Alt key on your numeric keypad, release the Numlock, and it will cast automatically. Remember, you don't have to worry about Symbols of Hope, which is a buff skill. Volatile Reversal, which will actually be the only other key you need to hit. This casts as you move. This you cast to actually do fast movement and debuff bosses. And Devouring Orb automatically creates itself when you move around. Hey, so the only thing you need to do is whatever key put on Volatile Reversal to move, and then Smite on your right button. And you are got this guy set up for maximum damage. Alright, so if you look here, our damage, we do the typical VK trick of scaling off vitality. That gives us health, and now it gives us spell damage we need. My resistances are all capped. They're not all to maximum level, which should be 30 plus maximum, so 105. But I'm pretty happy with this, and I'm not dying, so that's good. So I'm not getting a lot of shred fire resistances taking me out, but if I wanted to, I should probably throw these up by another 10 to 20. Alright, so we got a 25% chance to block, 44% armor. My goal is 60. I have to leave my block chance below 30, otherwise it'll take away a major benefit. I think it's on the tree. Got some stun avoidance, and my effectiveness, my block isn't that great, so I'm not really counting on block as a major, but it does help reduce 25% of the incoming damage. The other damage I'm getting rid of here really quickly through crit strike avoidance. Okay, so crit strike should never hit me, so I should never take a critical strike. Honestly, I found that this is bugged, and so if I get some reduced bonus damage from crits, I take it. And honestly, I would rather go to reduced bonus damage from crits anyways. So that's the optimal solution, is to get this to 100%, but there shouldn't be a crit that one-shots me. And I found that to be pretty much true. Alright, so got my less damage over time taken, so that's pretty good. And then I've got a bunch of things on my tree which add further defenses. Okay, so less damage from nearby I get from my VK tree. And when I'm out of combat, I'm regenerating a lot of ward. Okay, so high health and about 10,000 ward. So 13,000 hits. This will not last for bosses. It will not last on really tightly packed maps. But don't worry, you've got enough leech to go ahead and take care of that. Your leech is going to come primarily from your anomaly. So you want this to be up as much as possible. Alright, so there's the stats. Let's look at the gear. Okay, 2 uniques, Grim Constitution and Code of Erased Sentinel. That's it. You don't need code. In fact, you might be able to do more damage. If you got a really good plus something to smite, I would take it. And then just forget about your other Sentinel skills getting the additional point. But code is such an amazing one because it gives you not only, if you get the right rolls, you're going to get increased armor, and you're also going to have damage over time reduced by armor mitigation. Okay, other things I got going on here, 159% increased spell damage, and what I'm really looking for is the cast speed and void penetration. I'm chilling a bit on hit, and I had to bury that one, so it's on my 5th. And the rest of the stuff I'm just stacking plus to a Devouring Orb or plus to Smite. On my helmet here, you see I got cooldown recovery plus 2 to Devouring Orb, 11 vitality, which is a huge jump in spell damage, and the rest of the stuff rolled out the way it's supposed to. I do have echoes, so I took this armor. I could have gone with a little bit higher armor. I've not gotten the rolls though, and this had an amazing 23 vitality on it, and it also had void damage on it and poison resistance, so I took it just the way it is. Okay, my amulet. Get void penetration on this and get void penetration on your wand. Okay? Cast speed and void penetration, because this is what's going to help you when you start getting high resistance mobs that are going to come with higher corruption. Okay, so there's my amulet. My rings, I would ideally like to have 2 vitality rings. Spell damage is amazing, but I took this one because it had 23 to endurance. And let's look at my endurance really quick. Yeah, I'm close to 60, which is the max. So that's good. And it's one of the ways I'm getting here. Hybrid health, or just health. Get it whenever you can. This ring is definitely replaceable, but it has my crit strike avoidance. And I think I'm over on that. No. Okay, so I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Anyway, so I've got a really high crit strike avoidance, which then with my area bonuses, they're going to go ahead and jack that up over 100. Gloves, cast speed. I took a course for the cast speed. You want to stack damage over time whenever you can. And then my boots, these turned out amazing. Not only was the base great, but it gave me 12 vitality. And also, too, I've got a hybrid health. And then there's your code. Okay, so there's my gear. My idols. Increase smite, increase void damage over time. So I took Time Rod and void damage over time whenever I could. Or chance to inflict Time Rod, because I'm inflicting a lot of Time Rod. And that's void damage over time. Void penetration where I could find it. I mean, this is not optimal, but this is a pretty good build out. Vitality, these are all things you want to look for on your idols. Okay. So let's look at skills. Alright, Symbol of Hope. Really easy. You want symbols to basically cast when you move. Okay, and you want additional symbols. Alright, and then you want to maximize as much as possible the damage for active symbol, because that's a 100% plus increase because you have 5 symbols. And there's your second symbol there. Okay, so additional healing effectiveness from your leech, additional endurance threshold, shorter cooldown, additional symbol, damage, mana regen. You just take it, because trust me, once you're casting all these devouring orbs, you'll need it. And then, okay, this increases my void damage per active symbol. All right, so I forgot where my, okay, additional symbols, shorter cooldown, additional symbols, threshold. Are my symbols not casting automatically? Let's see. Yep, they are. Okay. And let's look at that again. And, oh, maybe that one's already built in. So it casts now automatically. You don't need to pick it up as a skill. Unlike this bad boy, where you've got to pick up, so your Devouring Orb, you have to pick this up to cast it. That allows you to cast on move. Okay, this reduces your mana costs by 50% for Devouring Orb. Okay, it does damage to things it collides with, and then we turn most of that damage into damage over time over there. So here, this also penetrates void resistance, lasts longer, and inflicts time rot. Time rot, once again, is our friend, and it's our primary way of killing things. And then over here, shredding void resistance. We pick up a little bit of cast speed. And mana regen per orb. But in this, as you can obviously see, the things that I'm looking for here is mana cost reduction and damage over time. Okay? Smite, our main damage dealer. Like I said, it's really at +2 right now, so it's not optimal. But anyways, what you're looking for is increased damage, reduced cost. Your fissures and having them deal more damage and trigger more frequently. And you've got smite down, anomaly. You want to come over here and pick up all this stuff over on the right, pretty much except for this, because we're not doing any critical. But basically we want global health leech, increase attack speed and cast speed, cooldown recovery speed is reduced. It lasts longer. This is the one you should pick up first, because that way it's cast around you. And then once you leave your bubble, it continues to. So this is what allows you to have basically the effects of anomaly constantly and keeps your leech up. Volatile reversal. We're really just going to have these void bolts. That's over here on the right. And then we're also looking to get void essences, which actually, if we start running out of mana, it'll start increasing the number of void essences. Void essences, when you get below 0, actually convert into mana. And then over here, which means we get frenzy, haste, and then we had to pick up 1 to do that, so it's kind of a wasted point since we're not doing crits. Okay, that's that. So there's our skills. Our trees, really easy. Base Sentinel, just go ahead and pick up your vitality, your damage reduction close up, and then getting mana back when you cast Smite. Okay, because that'll keep you topped off even though your Devouring Orbs are burning mana. Alright, so then we go over to Void Knight. Actually, we'll jump to Paladin. To pick up Symbols of Hope, we pick up some resistances, a little bit of block, and then we want to go ahead and get this additional spell damage with the 5-point bonus, which reduces damage from crits by 30%. Okay, so you only put 15 points in there to get Symbols of Hope. Void Knight, very standard Void Knight. Alright, and I picked up a little bit of leech for when I'm out of the bubble, the anomaly bubble, but basically we're just adding void damage. Okay, increased health, chance to absorb health on kill. So if you kill something, this is really good when you're fighting a boss. A lot of times this will pop up. You're low on health fighting the boss. You'll get back a big chunk of health by killing something. Alright, Rot Ripples, absolutely critical. Inflict enemies with Time Rot. There you have it. Okay? You should pick up some Time Rot chance someplace else on your gear, or like I have in my idols. This is also absolutely critical, and when you can switch over this renouncement here, okay, because it converts vitality to smite damage, more rot grip, more time rot. Void penetration, absolutely critical. Okay, I'm picking up this one too because it creates void rifts, which when your orbs break off of you and go attack things, it basically starts wiping out stuff that you're not even paying attention to. Void essence is absolutely critical because if you run low on mana, so grab at least 1 point there. I recommend 3, and this converts your mana or void essences into mana. This is a great defensive node here. It takes all of your elemental damage and converts, or 50% of it, and converts it into void damage, so your void damage resistance applies. And then we're also picking up too this slow and chill effect reduction. And over here, this also reduces the damage we take from time rotted enemies and slowed enemies. Okay? So that's pretty much it for the Void Knight here. Not a complex build, does not really require any hard uniques, really easy and fun to play. If your style is you would rather kill stuff before it hits you, then this is the character for you. As I mentioned, there is a melee version I have of this character up, and he's now level 87 and kicking butt. This will probably be the last video I do on this guy this league. I think the most important thing you can do is grab this shield early on at level 35. Go ahead and gamble for it, your Rune of Ascendances, and see if you can get an early copy of this, because it just makes this character so much more fun. If you don't go this route, I would probably put something into Leech. But Anyways, Grim Constitution is what makes the build. Code, if you get a good code, it helps really round the build out. All in all, a really simple, fun build and a really simple, fun game that really respects your time. Old Gaming Guru out.